evening, good morning, opinion folks. It's man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube, folks. It's a new month. Seems like we have almost a few months left of 2025. What the hell? It seems like we just started the new year, went through the spring and the summer, and now we're just a few months away from a new year. 2026 just around the corner, folks. And also just around the corner is a big event, one of the biggest events of the world of bodybuilding, which is the Olympia. I don't call it Mr. Olympia, I call it the Olympia. Mr. Olympia is the title. The real show is the Olympia. This is me, I'm a stickler. And it's going to be this coming weekend. It's going to be starting, I think, there's going to start with the women's divisions on Friday. That's the 10th. I think it's 10th. I'm sure of that. I will do this. I will do a live stream commentary on the Olympia. As you know, I'm rooting for my girlfriend. That's my girlfriend, Andrea. I just love her. What's up, folks? But over here we have a lovely lady here. She comes from me all the way from Brazil. And she is an IFB pro. She's currently a coach. She coached my dear friend Eunice Martinez Kitchens, aka the queen of bad rap. Bad rap, the moniker, big and defined, ripped and pump, and we guys like to rip party. So we have here the lovely Mrs. Gina Caballero here today, and she's one of the members of the Team 4 Pro. I want to because, and that's her, Hel Trevino, and also Irene Anderson, IFB Women Bodybuilding Pros. And with them ladies, they are doing some good work here. Also, we're going to talk about have an upcoming seminar in about a couple of weeks. And if you want to check it out, I left the link in the description to their on their social media sites. So you want to check it out and follow them. And if you're a competitor, it's for women, exclusive for ladies. So ladies out there who are right now are competitors, or this is for anybody who's interested in working out and training too?
Yes, absolutely. So any division, beginner, advanced, doesn't matter. If you're female, this is for you.
Yeah. So a while back, I interviewed her some time ago, and it was like around the time where she was like taking a break because you're dealing with some medical issues. And I understood because I have a pacemaker, and she did last compete in 2023. She did both the New York Pro and the Toronto Pro, and I think she also announced that she's going to take a step back from competing this again. So what you been up to other than just with the new coaching team, you and Hella and Irene?
Yeah, so that was last year. I did compete. I took that was after 2 years off. So did New York and Toronto. So off again this year. And I mean, everybody's, the $1 million question is if I'm going to compete again. And I really don't know. It's always in my mind. I don't think I'll ever not want to step back on stage. So, just keeping training, working out, actually coming off a fairly long break. I haven't really been in the gym much since April. It's the longest break I've ever taken in decades. And it's been different. I would say I definitely needed it. After spending 20 and 30 years training consistently, being in the gym, I think my body just kind of needed the break, So my joints are like way happier than they've been in a long time. And just kind of getting back here to Brazil. I was in Europe for a couple months. I was in the States for about a month, and just kind of getting dug back in and back into my routine and back to the gym and, kind of just seeing how things go.
Yeah, I think it's very important for somebody to maybe enjoy life as it is, because bodybuilding is a tough sport. It can be so much of a drain physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and just living yourself, your true self, and just enjoying what you can do. And like I said, many ladies have stepped away from the sport, and just every now and then you get that little feel that I want to go one more time, like Rocky Balboa, like I hear no ring. So you want to go one more time in the ring. Yeah, my man Alex, shout out to Alex coming through. Appreciate you, brother. He says hi, yo George, and says
Hey,
hi,
Alex.
Gina. Yeah, Alex is a great kid. I met him while I was at Tampa, and cool kid. Was at Bad Rap Booth. So as you know, you and Hella and Irene started Team 4 Pro. When did you start, and what was the idea behind this coaching business?
Sure. So we actually started it last year. So it's, well into its second year. And we all coach independently. Been coaching for, a decade myself. And we just thought there would be a lot of value in bringing collectively our experience together. You know, there's really not any other models like that. There's coaching teams. They have men, they have women, they have all men. There's not a single team that's just female experienced competitors, athletes, and coaches. You know, collectively, we have something like, I don't know, 70, 80 years experience competing. It's crazy when you look at the duration of, you know, Irene and Hella's careers, and then you add mine in. It's not as long as theirs, but we just really wanted to, you know, bring something different to the athletes in our sport and give women another option for coaching from women. You know, I'm a big proponent that, you know, obviously women's and men's bodies are very different. And for me, having a woman coach, having a female for coach has been the direction that really made a difference for me. Having somebody that was experienced and knew what I would experience as a female and could relate to that and bring their own experience as a female athlete to me made a difference for me. So we want to make that difference for other athletes.
That's good because I think I talk to some ladies. Sometimes I think some women feel more comfortable with a woman that's a coach because understanding aspects of a woman's body, the physical stuff, the stuff that I think most men will never understand because there's no men and women are different. We're different in our or how we grow, how we build. Guys, we can put on muscle like that. We can lose muscle a lot quicker than y'all women because you'll have high BMI because you know you have it in your hips and other parts of places. Like I know I got some right here, but you know not much. But I can't hear I'm a big guy. And that's good because I think that's really a good model and idea. I know there's quite a few coaches trainers they might have some like satellite coaches, like you know guys like Shelby Starnes or I think who else I'm thinking about Brandon Ray. They have coaches to work with their clients, you know, directly. So I know you were working with my friend Eunice. Who are some of your other clients that you've been working with?
So I've got them kind of scattered around the world, several in the States. I've got a client in Sweden, one in Dubai. You know, and I work with guys too. I got a guy down in Mexico, one in Atlanta, just off the top of my head. But, you know, so it doesn't matter where you're at. You know, we work with athletes around the world. Hella and Irene are both bilingual. I'm working on being more bilingual. But, you know, English is definitely my first language. You know, but if, you know, but Google Translate's great. I mean, I've got a new Swedish guy that I'm working with, which we got to use a translator, you know, but it works. But, you know, it's just, you know, getting back to that female element. I mean, I've had women come to me with things that are, I can't imagine if I had that problem, I wouldn't want to go and talk to a guy, you know? So I think there's definitely some reasons where it makes sense for women to work with women coaches.
hmm Yeah, it does because you know what? It's just women feel more comfortable. Like I worked for many years in a job with women. My first real job was I used to work at a textile plant with women. I had another job where I worked strip club with women. So you know, and I think it's unless they're really comfortable with a man, they're more comfortable with a woman that understands, especially things that we may not know about. Like you know, y'all go through chemical imbalances that we don't. I mean, also y'all bear children, we don't. I mean, and there's quite a few ladies in the sport now who are bodybuilders who have kids and the responsibilities of being a competitor and trying to balance that as a woman and as an athlete.
There's a lot, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think bodybuilding is like it's really, even though it's kind of a small community, like you say, just you were Sweden and you were helping a client there. You got clients here in Mexico, states where bodybuilding is really growing. It's kind of like since doing this, I've interviewed ladies right now. Tomorrow, I got interviewed a lady from Germany. And you have ladies. I'm interviewed ladies from Singapore. I mean, it's just really has grown in the last few years, but still it's kind of still a fringe sport.
It is. I think it always will be. I mean, I don't ever see it being mainstream like football. You know, speaking like what the rest of the world calls football. You know, it's probably the biggest sport in the world. Or U.S. sports like basketball or baseball. I don't think we'll ever get that type of attention. It seemed like, I don't know, when I was growing up, when I got into bodybuilding, I mean, I was a little kid watching bodybuilding. That's when I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I remember it being on, what was it, ABC Wide World of Sports? You remember that?
NBC, ESPN used to have it. Fox Sports used to carry it.
Right? it
but
actually had like prime time TV
yeah.
coverage, and that's changed.
I think it goes back to a certain thing where we're not going to detail of because of that. But here's the thing: is that thing is in every sport. It's not just exclusively in bodybuilding. It's so easy to point that finger at bodybuilding because it's a sport more performance. It's funny. Like a while back, a friend of mine sent me this clip. It was a thing called it was pillow fighting championships. And this was a while back. As you know, folks, I went to Tampa, and this like this cool hat. Shout out to Bad Rap. Shout out to Eunice. And when I get to the motel, I was tired. And I said, I want to take a rest. I flipped the television. I flipped on ESPN, something or another. And they're showing on ESPN now. You got cornhole, it's hobby horse sports. I mean, those are,
And
it's
slapping, right?
yeah, power
That's like
slapping.
Arnold.
Yeah, it was an Arnold. Yeah, because I think they showed it. So Arnold, he was like sitting there watching it. He's like, but because he's a businessman, that's popular. Remember, even I think they even still have the pole dancing if you're Arnold.
I mean, I see where it can get attention, but I don't know how you can call it a sport.
Well, it's easy. I mean, if you can, well, sports like throwing darts and bowling, those are really sports, I would say. But some of that stuff is just because it's very popular, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going back to the team four. Now,
Sure.
I know you're working with Eunice and some other characters. Are you also working with clients who want to do lifestyle changes too?
Absolutely. So it's not just athletes and competitors. It's people that need to body recomp, that want to add lean mass, older people that have mobility issues. I mean, so basically any kind of client that needs a coach, needs a trainer, we work with male, female, beginner, advanced, young, old, really, even MMA fighters. Irene used to be into MMA, used to be a fighter before she started bodybuilding. I know, not a lot of people know that, right?
No,
Um,
wow, the big Swede. Well,
yeah, so she was actually really, really good at it. She was very successful. And she noticed that athletes and fighters, they have to make weight. That's one of the things they have to do, and it's one of the things they don't do well. She's like, there's a demand there, there's a need for them to have somebody help them with their diet and how to cut for a competition and not get down to the day before and have to drop 5 kilos and sit in a sauna for 6 hours. There's essentially not anybody we won't work with.
Yeah, because I do a bit content on MMA. I've interviewed quite a few fighters from boxing to mixed martial arts to even bare knuckle. As you know, this weekend is a bare knuckle fight between a lady I interviewed about Jessica Borgia, the Black Widow versus Christine Ferrer. And just as you know, there's also a UFC event coming up this weekend too. I think today's UFC 320, where a fighter, her name is Macy Chazon. She missed weight by at least by 3 pounds. If you don't even know about the UFC, if it's like a regular fight, you can only go at least over a pound. She went over 2 pounds more. If it's a title fight, you cannot miss. You have to hit at that dot weight. You can't. If you do, it won't be a title fight. And
So it's a forfeit.
Yeah, well, you have to forfeit. So you have to forfeit a bit of your change. But the fight, usually I've seen this where they went on with the fight anyway, even though it was a title fight. Went on with it. But when these fighters, if they come in a certain amount of weight over, then especially if she's over at least like for just a regular fight, it's a bare minimum of a pound over. But then anything at that, you do have to forfeit a percentage of your purse to the other opponent. So
Okay.
that means you're losing money. And I think with women, because it's a certain your biology is different compared to men. And it can be hazardous and dangerous to be under a certain amount of weight. Like I think the average is like anything under 12%, I think supposed to be.
Yes. That's like the limit that we want to see females, which obviously we do go below that.
Yeah, especially the bodybuilder, because you have to come in that hard, shredded, conditioned look. I mean, you want to come in too soft, it's just a look that I think is very stage ready, but you can't stay stage ready forever.
Right.
Yeah. We have here a comment from Alex. He says like Irene was an MMA fighter. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want to fight Irene. I don't know.
I wouldn't either. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, like, hey, But then I'm a sicko. I just sometimes be into
90
that.
kilos, and yeah, and she knows what she's doing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's the thing with men and women when it comes to certain sports. The everyday man can't go against somebody, a woman, even with a woman who's trained. It'd be tough because I've seen this a video was a fighter by the name of Vanessa Demopoulos. She was fighting this guy. She tapped him out at least 3 times because she has that skill set. Even if you have natural strength, like I remember this video somebody showed me of a bodybuilder. He was a guy. He was like talking junk to the coach in a dojo, and then he got beat up by one of the female students.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've,
absolutely.
I've always wanted to box and learn how to box. I've taken like a few lessons and stuff, which I can get behind the punching part. I don't know that I could handle being hit.
I don't think I want to be hit either. I don't know. I've been in fights. I'm a country boy. We like fight. We wrestle. We wrestle. We like the copy and stuff we used to watch on TV. So, folks, while we have Gina here, we're going to jump onto the Team 4 Pro IG. You want to check it out. You're interested if you are a competitor or just somebody who want to work with her, and also the other ladies about maybe like losing weight, or just maybe if you're a competitor who's looking for a good coach, because that's one thing. Sometimes the right people can help you get to that weight. But guys, it's no offense to Gina, but it's to you guys out there. And I know you guys. I'm one of you. I'm a muscle person. I think these women are very beautiful. I love them. But you guys out there, no strange shit, no D pics, no nothing. You when you reach out to these ladies, reach out with genuine interest. Nothing weird. Come on. Get your shit
Thank
together.
you.
You're sick. No, man. It's like this. I'm a Southern gentleman, man. It's my pleasure to help a lady. So we're going to jump on here into her also IG 14 Pros IG. You want to check it out? The links are in the description of this live. And here it is. And these are nice little videos y'all put together. It's really cute.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been working a lot with our content and, bringing educational, informative content, even humorous, we'll definitely want to engage with our audience, but bringing something of value, so we have a lot to share.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching one which I think it was you and Hannah. Someone, she was about to eat something and she couldn't eat it or something like that. It was really funny. But that's good because you bring a sense of humor to it. I think maybe a little more lighthearted to it. I think people be interested. Now, here's this also a little promo they cut. Short with you.
What you get. We start with your physique and analyze your current shape and foundation. Next, we build a custom nutrition plan for your goals and lifestyle. Then there's your resistance training plan. It's built exclusively for you and based on what you need to develop. It's periodized for strength, hypertrophy, and recovery. Labs are also assessed, and then a strategic supplementation plan is developed to support health, recovery, and performance. We also create a cardio protocol designed specifically for your body and your goals. Clients check in weekly and receive feedback and plan adjustments from their personal coach. If you need a coach, look no further. Team 4 Pro has you covered.
That's really cool. I mean, working with people, and also again, folks, if you want to check out, here they are. This is a great. I like these pictures. Here Gina, Hella, and you DM or email to them if you want interested in working with them as a bodybuilder, or as a someone who just want to change their health style life. And I think this is one of the gentlemen that you were working with. That's what was it, Sweden?
Yes, Kayvon.
Yeah. Kayvon, yeah. He looks like a much older gentleman. How old is this guy?
He's actually like 43. So.
43.
Yep, but he did compete as a master and in the open. I had only met him about 3 weeks earlier at a posing seminar, and Irene knows him for a long time, and he asked if we could help him with posing at his peak. So Irene and I ended up peaking him. He won one of the classes he was in, and we've decided to work with him. So he's got a great physique, has all the pieces. The judges said we want to see more mass. So I'm like, all right, fun. Let's put some more size on him and come back next year. And, he wants to get that pro card. So I'm super excited to work with him and make him an IFBB pro.
Yeah, I think there's a pro qualifier coming up. That's I believe, I think it's one in Italy, a couple others, and also there's the one at the Romanian Muscle Fest, and that's in
Yeah, there's still
November.
quite a few in Europe.
Yeah, quite a few in Europe. Right now, we have a pro qualifier coming up. That's the Amateur Olympia, and
Great.
that's next week. And then in a couple of, I think, next month is the Masters USA's, and then the Nationals. Yeah,
Nationals.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Here she, and here she is. Right here. That's Hella Trevino, the two-time Rice Phoenix and three-time Olympian, multiple-time Olympian. I mean, she's right now dealing with, just had finished with knee surgery just early this year, and we hope to see it come back next year for the Olympics. She's lifetime qualified. Her quads are just killer. I mean, wow.
yep.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's good that what y'all ladies are doing, coming together and helping out people, training. I mean, just the opportunity to grow as competitors for the bodybuilding over your time. Nope. Yeah. What would you say that if you were working with somebody and they were serious about being in bodybuilding, what advice would you give to them? Like we reach out to you as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anybody's interested and serious about being a bodybuilder, first things first, get yourself a good coach. I mean, sure, we can get in the gym, we can train, we can, probably figure out what to do, talk to other gym bros, and get on Chat GPT. But invariably, it comes down to having somebody guiding you that knows how to go down that path. There's a lot to it. I mean, it's not just about the gym or just the food. There's supplementation and health support. Supplementation, doing your labs, having somebody that can assess those. It's not a doctor, quite frankly, and as a bodybuilder, because doctors look at most of our lab work and think, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff wrong, when it's just natural. It's the way our labs present because of the amount of muscle we carry, the lean mass that skews things. So get yourself a coach, get somebody that is reliable, experienced, you have a great rapport with. I think that's one of the things that's at the top of my list when it comes to having a good coach, is somebody you can talk to and communicate with. And, just if you're going to invest the time and the money and the effort and the blood and the sweat and tears, my gosh, have somebody help you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing, is that there's so much involved to it when you become a bodybuilder. And somebody told me like this: it's not so much a sacrifice; it's an investment upon who you want to be in this sport, and also not just being a bodybuilder. Maybe somebody just want to find something to help them to, like, understand, like, especially myself, break old habits of dieting, of training, finding discipline, because that's the tough part. That discipline is I always say it's necessary when you make those changes your life health wise.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, it's a challenge for everyone, really. I mean, I didn't always look this way. I actually got into bodybuilding consistently rather late. I was in my 40s. And up until then, I was in the gym, out of the gym, and my weight went up, my weight went down, but the point when I finally decided to be consistent about going to the gym was because my blood pressure was up and I was weighing like 175 pounds. And it wasn't good. I was overweight and, got winded easily and stuff, and decided I didn't sleep. I slept like 3 hours late at night. I was running two businesses, resigned from one of them. It was actually a nonprofit organization I had created, and went to the gym. I was like, okay, I need to make some changes. And for me, what finally created the consistency with being in the gym and my nutrition was being a bodybuilder. I had eaten well here and there. I trained off and on, for my entire life. But when I finally had that goal of getting on stage and finally learned to, create consistency and have dedication, and discipline, it was life changing. It gave me a reason, other than wanting to look a certain way or wanting to be healthy, it gave me more, incentive.
Yeah, because you know what, you have to really want this bad enough for yourself more than anybody else. Because you don't, then it can be easy to be derailed. Life has things that throw in front of you. And sometimes more people don't have that same discipline. Somebody say motivation is one thing, but motivation can change with the wind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one thing is I saw she posted a while back is they're going to do a seminar instead again a couple of weeks, and that is a free seminar. So um, can you explain the details of it and what's involved in it?
Yes, absolutely. So it's coming up in 2 weeks from tomorrow, October 19th, and it's on Microsoft Teams. It's a webinar, and it is free. So what that is we decided to put together a seminar that is going to talk about female enhancement. So basically, we wanted to discuss what is recommended for females, what's safe, what the risks are, what side effects you might be looking at, how to manage and mitigate the side effects, also how it affects, middle-aged menopausal women, postmenopausal. We have a large number of women that are master's age, so they are definitely part of the sport that we want to address. And we also want to talk about beginners, from the start all the way up to advanced athletes, because it's very different in how you're going to manage your protocol, whether or not you're just getting into the sport or if you've been in the sport for 10 or 15 or 20 years. So basically, everything you can imagine when it comes to enhancement for females, hormone profiles, labs, what to look at, how to manage your in-season versus your off-season, all of those things. And probably the most important aspect of it, we wanted to bring it collectively from the point of view of females, having a female perspective, having athletes that live it, have been through it, have decades of experience. So we wanted to approach it from that perspective.
Yeah. Well, here's a little video she posted with the link, so you want to check it out. You want to listen.
We're going to tell you the why they matter, when to use them, and how to do it. It's not going to be cookie cutter stuff. This is going to be real life, real experiences coming from coaches that are also athletes. We know, we live it every day.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about strategies that athletes are using every day. So we're going to tell you the.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea because again, here also we have Hella.
Challenges with enhancement and health, hormonal shifts, long-term effects, and even menopause require a different approach. Understanding these factors is key to progress and longevity, and it's exactly what we'll break down in this seminar. So watch it.
We're also going to talk side effects and, most importantly, how to combat them. We want to bring you the full truth. The three of us have over 150 years of life experience in being women and over 60 years of competition history. So if anyone can bring you the full truth, it's us. We have lived it for many years. This is not just some textbook bullcrap. This is the real deal. And you'll also have the opportunity to ask your personal questions directly to us. See you at the seminar.
Well, folks, you can check out the seminar. Like I said, there's a free link that you get invited. All you got to do is you can go into the IG link and put in female, and they'll send you a link. So if you're interested in it, and if you're serious about as you are a competitor or just maybe somebody who's maybe thinking about getting into bodybuilding, this is something that might help you out. So like I said, here's the link here. It's going to be in the description of this live. So you go to the IG, which is Team 4 Pros Seminar, and put in female in the comment section, and you will get a link. Like I said, I shared this with a lot of ladies, and I think they really like it. Yeah. Here we got a comment.
Or you can message any one of us, shoot me a message. I can get you that link right away. So you can definitely and it's easy. You just sign up and you're going to get a reminder. It's going to let you know when it's going to happen. So come join us.
Yeah. And here we have here, shout out to my man, KL, the one that says, hey, what's happening? Hey, what's good with you, brother? Also, shout out to my man, Josh Simkins coming through. Happy Saturday. So I appreciate it, brother. So, as you know, we don't hold too long, but we know we want to do this question is the Olympics coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Are you gonna watch it, or are you just gonna what? What are you gonna do?
Oh, I gotta watch it. You kidding? I haven't missed an Olympia in years. This is the first time I'm not going in a really long time. So I'm just gonna kind of be sitting on the edge of my seat, watching the live stream. I can't imagine not watching it.
Well, like I said, I'm going to do that Friday. I'm going to do a live stream commentary for both the prejudging and the finals. As you know,
Nice.
my channel is focused on the ladies. I'm not going to too much. I don't care much about the hammocks and the boy shorts and the teenage divisions, where that's bikini and wellness. As you know, if you heard that there's possibly you might be moving it next year.
I heard that they're thinking back to Orlando.
I think some people told me they liked Orlando more than they like Vegas.
I did. Yeah, it's just more accessible. It's like everything's more concentrated with the Orlando Convention Center. You know, I think it's also more family friendly. You know, I mean, if you want to bring your kids, there's everything that's right there in Orlando as well. And Vegas was pricey. I mean, Resorts World last year was crazy. You know, so I think it's just easier for people to get to. You know, as far as Orlando, and it just makes more sense. And the show is, I think, just better there too.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because, I've been to, actually, I remember my family a couple of times we went to Disney World and we stayed in Kissimmee because it's a little cheaper than staying in Orlando.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I think, especially if you are a bodybuilder who have family, some places do, because Vegas is really more like, I remember years ago, they tried to make Vegas family oriented, but it didn't work out, and it just didn't work out because it didn't have that feel. Vegas is the adult heathenies. You go there, you want to have fun. You want to hit the tables, and and you remember also the state of Nevada, prostitution is illegal. There's only 10 counties, but I think it might be a good move to go back to Orlando. I think some people they like it a lot more compared to Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, I think like years and years ago, before it kind of settled in Vegas, didn't it move around?
Well, yeah, it used to be like you remember actually the men's and the women used to move around. They never had them together. And then I think it was around 2000 when they decided to settle it, do it just all in one spot.
It was 2000.
Yeah, it was about 2000 because remember back in '99 they didn't have almost didn't have Miss Olympia one year because they were about to cancel it, but then they took it and put it in I think it was some kind of a hotel convention center in New Jersey because that was the year that Iris Kyle made her debut. A lady I also know, Marilyn Horton, also made her debut that show, and that was the last Miss Olympia title for Kim Zavetsky. And then in 2000, that's when they started to have it just in one spot because Mr. Olympia used to go to other countries like South Africa,
Right.
here and there. I mean, but then I think only one time Mr. Olympia went out of country, that was Prague, and that was '98. Only one time went out of country. Because, women, y'all are not as popular compared to the men.
Yep.
Yeah. We have your comment. Shout to our man, Alex. He says, I agree that the Olympia should be in Orlando. Gina, yeah, I think because he lives in Florida, and I think it's like more convenient for a lot of competitors. So, we're going back to it. Who do you got your money on, especially in your division? We all know.
Yeah, I mean, my division, I don't see anyone beating out Andrea. I mean, she's going to go up for what, number 6?
Number 6.
So it's kind of what's going to happen with 2 through 5, and even like just calling the top 5 out, it's hard. I mean, I've got like 8 easily that could be top 5, so it might even be 9. So the competition's incredible, the quality's incredible, and I think it's going to come down to who has got their conditioning on point and nails their peak, because really it can be anybody's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Well, I think with 2nd, I think it's going to still be Angela. I mean, she comes in great condition. Her body, her physique is just crazy. I mean, she just don't have the size compared to, you look at her compared to Andrea. I got to meet her when I was in Tampa, and that is Ashley Jones. I'll put his picture here. This is me.
Yep.
I smile like I'm cheesing, and she looks amazing. I think if your conditions come a little tighter, it could be a battle between her and Angela for 2nd place. As you know, Christina Melissa.
Right.
That was a good move for her to move over because
absolutely.
her just wow, she could be maybe third, maybe fourth. Nadia Coposola, she looks really good.
Alcyone.
Alcyone. I mean, she was I think you were there that year when she was top three. And she kind of fell down after election because she was with Iris Kyle. I think I was working with her. Then she switched.
Yeah, she worked with her for a while.
Yeah, and she switched to a guy who I interviewed a while back. He also does. One of his clients was Tiana Flex, but she switched to another coach, and he's working with her now. His name is Robert Phil. He's the king of wellness, but he's interested in working with some more women in bodybuilding. Chelsea, she looks really good. I think she really looked too. I also met her when I was in Tampa. I mean, it's Natalia. I mean, I'm not gonna. But I think there's quite an opportunity. I know some ladies. One young lady I interviewed a while back in the Atlanta Santos. She dropped out for particular reasons. Everybody was looking for Anastasia Kobaleva, but I don't think she has a visa to be able to come here.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, it'd been great to see her because she's huge. She's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a monster. I mean, I think she posted that she's going to be doing the Romanian Muscle Fest next month. And then also, we're going to look at women's physique. Who you think is just seriously going to be dominant, because, Natalia did slip in 1 year.
I've always been a bigger fan of Natalia's physique. It goes back and forth between her and Sarah, but in my opinion, Natalia epitomizes what women's physique should be. So I
think I kind of disagree with it. One person who I did meet, who I feel like she's the standard to me for women's physique, and that is Sharonica Hinton. And I think she has the look that's more, because if you look at it now, if you're like, Zama won at Tampa, and she is just. I remember when she competed last year at Tampa. They showed pictures of her shoulders, her traps. It's huge.
Yeah, Zama's back is insane.
I mean, I know she even competed in women's bodybuilding. I know that year she competed in women's bodybuilding the same year that I think it was the last time that Irene competed in Romania, and she beat her out in the top 3 in that spot at that show. There's one lady also, her name is Megan Santa Barbara. She said she's heavier than even Andrea on stage. There was a lot of excitement for Rachel Daniels returning, but she took a step back because of mental reasons. I mean, and I actually saw her also at Tampa because one of the clients was Keisha Oliver, and I feel like, I don't know, this is me, maybe it's me from outside looking in, but I think she could do well in women's bodybuilding.
Keisha?
Keisha is women's bodybuilding. I'm thinking Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. I think so too. Yeah, I think she could.
Yeah, I think some women will use that excuse that, they want to get bigger, they want to be less feminine. But here's the thing is, if you look at divisions now, it's it's kind of where the lines are getting blurred.
They're blurry. They definitely are.
Yeah, I think, some women, I think like this is like a couple ladies who that we know, like people like Sherry Priami, Michaela, she retired this year. I mean, some other, like, you can't forget Melissa. They made a switch, and I think it did good for them. Also with Ashley, I think if you're a competitor, I think this one lady, I think she's from Austria. Her name is Brigitte. This woman, I'll send you a link if you want to check her out. This woman looked like she can women's bodybuilding. Even though she won a qualification for women's physique, her shoulders, her lats, to me, is screaming women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, I mean, I think that determining factor, there's like only one left. It's density, because it's not just size anymore. It's not conditioning, because women's physique brings size and conditioning now just as much, if not more, than bodybuilding. So I think it comes down to that density and thick muscle. I mean, I'm like short and compact and thick, like made sense for me to do bodybuilding as opposed to women's physique just because of my composition. So I think that's where we kind of have to say, okay, yeah, you look like a bodybuilder as opposed to women's physique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing is but it's up to them if they want to make those moves for themselves.
Of course.
Yeah. We have here some comments here. This is from our man, Bodybuilding Fan 01. Shout out to him. He says, hello, George, and hello, Gina. Hello, brother. Also, man, Alex. Alex says, you mean Sarah C? You mean Sarah Krill? No, I'm talking about Sarah Vilgus. You know, that's
Vegas.
Sarah. I mean, Vilgus. You know, Vilgus. I mean, I'm from the South. We spell it how we see it. You know, and also this is from man John Simpkins. Shout to Shock. He says, Sarah Bradley and Rachel Daniels should do well in women's bodybuilding. They would. I mean, you know, I think, but again, it's up to them. Because, you know, one thing about, we talk about bodybuilding, it can be a lot of mental, physical stress, the medical stuff, you know, stuff we talked about before we were going through with your medical issues. Because I can tell you the truth, yeah, I have issues with my heart. You know, I have a pacemaker, I have for almost 11 years. And that's the thing is you have to really be concerned about your well-being when you get to the sport.
Absolutely. You know, it's demanding not only physically, but mentally too. And, you know, props to Rachel and also Amanda for coming out and saying, hey, you know, I'm struggling right now and I've made a decision for my well-being not to step on the biggest stage in the world. You know, I mean, that can't be an easy decision to make, and super proud and to see how brave they are in the way they handled it.
Yeah, because you know what, you know, I know it's tough to, you know, like also Brooke Walker said she's not competing. Yeah, she announced that announced it also. But you know what, it's important that you take care of your body first before anything else. You know, I think I froze up here. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let me check something real quick. Ooh, I don't know what it is. It's something here.
We can hear you. Not, pictures frozen.
Yeah, it might be something caught up. Might be my Wi-Fi. But you know, let me switch over to my other guy for a minute so you can see me for something. Yeah, but yeah, I think anybody who gets in the sport, you need to understand the factors that's involved in it. The work, the consistency, the motivation is one thing, and the diet and everything involved. Like, you know, when were you competing? What was that favorite thing you always like to have after a show?
Everything. No, sweets. I'm a sweet fiend. So, you know, I already have the cookies. I always wanted a chocolate chip cookie. I love chocolate chip cookies. And I either had a celebration cookie or a comfort cookie, depending on how the show went.
Yeah, I think everybody likes sweets. I think the typical one is more like some ladies like to get the something like a nice little burger, fries. I mean, I even have ladies tell me they love pizza. I mean, I don't know if that's something, you know, but that's the thing about this. So, folks, we're not going to hold much on here too much longer because she took the time off here to talk with me and to share her story. And also, as I said again, if you are a competitor who's interested in, you know, joining her and Hella and also Irene for the upcoming seminar, here's the link. I will leave it in the description of the live stream. You can check it out. You can give if you are someone who's interested, maybe just want to, you might have a coach already, but maybe you just want to hear somebody, especially from a woman, you know, who understands what it is to be a competitor and all the stuff that involves in bodybuilding. That's good. You need that perspective. You know, it never hurts to listen to somebody else who, with their experience they have together, like I said, they have over 6 years experiences, over 100 years being women. I mean, I think that's a thing that I think some people really should think about.
Yes. Appreciate you having me, George, and promoting the seminar for us. And, you know, we just want to give as much information as we can share. There's going to be Q&A afterwards. So, you know, bring your questions, anything you want to address. You know, just we'll want to see you there in a couple of weeks.
Well, folks, we want to say thank you again to the lovely Mrs. Gina Cavallero. You know, the other guy got to say something. Yeah, Gina, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful.
The laugh, George. The laugh. It's perfect.
It's something I worked on for a long time doing this. So, you have anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah. So definitely want to say that we're doing the seminar in conjunction with Female Bodybuilding Channel. So we definitely appreciate their support, AJ and JB. Also, Bad Rap, my client and friend Eunice at Bad Rap, all the awesome stuff they're doing there. I think I hear you clapping in the background, George. So yeah, and George, I want to shout out to you for what you do for our sport, bringing awareness and helping us get our voice out there. And also everybody that's been sharing about our seminar. friends and other athletes out there. Appreciate it.
Well, ma'am, like I said again, I do this because I'm a fan of y'all ladies, and I respect who you are as a competitor. I also, like I said again, yes, I'm at my crime. I am a suppressed smell, but doing this content and learning more every day about what it takes to be a woman in sport. That's why this channel is about giving y'all ladies a voice. Because shout out to Female Bodybuilding Channel, AJ and JB. They all sometimes even give me advice. And I've even been on a couple of. I've even been on one of their live streams before. No, it was something with me, Chelsea, them, my man David, and also Asher Hadley. That was around about I think 2023. But this is why we as fans should pay our ladies respect. Respect who you are as women, as competitors. Understand that this is a sport that y'all really a passion for. Just like I wish there was more opportunities for y'all. You should, as you know, there's a new division coming out, fit model. I mean, but I understand that it's about business. But the thing is, this sport should be about recognizing the work and the stuff you put into it yourself to be a bodybuilder. Not so much about the business part of it, but I understand it's anything. It's a business. Shout out to my man Alex. He says this. He says, I love chocolate chip. Yeah. I got some oatmeal cookies in the kitchen. I might eat when I'm done. So folks, if you want to check her out, you can go to her IG also here. Also, you have as I said, I posted the link to the seminar. And if you are a lady, this is for the ladies, fellas. Not for you guys. It's for the ladies. I know it may not be the 80s, but I'm down with the ladies. So, if you want to check it out and, listen to these ladies who have perspective, you have here great coach like Gina, most of the time Olympics like Irene and Hella, Rising Phoenix, Rising Phoenix changes this year. I mean, if you think about coming back, as you know now, it's an open show. Would you ever think anyone want to try that show?
I would, just because it's still has quite the reputation, Rising Phoenix. So you never know. Maybe next year.
Yeah, take your time, sweetheart. Like I said, it's always gonna be here when you're ready. So I want to shout out to my guests, my man Job Simpkins, my brother Alex, my brothers KL the Wanderer. All you who watch this live, support the women in bodybuilding, support these competitors. So respect. And no weird shit, guys. I told you that before. If we have a problem, the other guy will come at you. Why so serious, son? Why so serious? So this is your man always, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe. I'm out. Good afternoon, good night, good luck, and God bless.
Thanks.
You're welcome.